Hi everybody, Suzanne Lyons here, and welcome back. This is tip number 9. We're almost at the end of our session on dealing with stress in the entertainment industry. And when I said the entertainment industry, the truth is, with something like stress, it's every industry. It's 7 billion of us on the planet, Joan. I don't think any of us are free of dealing with stress in our lives, honestly. You know, before it was something we talked about, people that were in their 50s, 60s, and 70s who worked too hard. Now it's kids are dealing with stress. In grade 1 and 2, they're talking about stress. I mean, it's so sad, but it's kind of a reality that we have to deal with. And what this series has been about is what are some ways that we can have tools and techniques and advice on what are things that we can do, taken into our own hands, of helping us reduce stress.
Right.
And I think, like you said last week, this is Dr. Joan Pastor, and she was with us last week, and you mentioned that, we deal with probably more stress than most other industries in the world. That came right out of Joan's mouth last week, that we deal with a lot in the entertainment industry. We're dealing with more rejection than probably any other industry. We're dealing with billions of dollars. I mean, the pressures are high.
Right.
And Joan has got her practice here. She's in Beverly Hills. She is called the psychologist to the stars and beyond. Really working with so many different aspects, people of different aspects of the industry.
That's right.
And she's also a wonderful associate partner with me. I've had the pleasure of working with Joan with MasterTalentTeachers.com. So we are blessed to have her there, and you are blessed, and I am blessed to have her here today again. So we locked the door last week, as I told you, and I've got her back. So, and I thank you for driving all the way in from Beverly Hills and being here with us today, because last week she talked about this, what's called the dump sheet, where we looked at getting kind of clear before you go into the audition, and before you get into the meeting, in order to rise that confidence level, to put you in touch with your power, and be able to then create an opening for creativity and being present and powerful in the meetings and auditions and so on. So that was so brilliant. I'm using it. And I want to be able to now take advantage of Joan and get a few more tips and techniques on what are other ways that we can reduce our stress, in the entertainment industry. So I'm going to hand it over, girl.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. So, last week, the technique, the tool that I gave, the purpose of the tool is that when you are anxious, when you're under stress, especially in entertainment, a lot of times I have found over the years of working with all different kinds of people in the entertainment industry, not just the talent, but all types, is that, lack of confidence. And you can be very confident naturally, but when you have to go up against an audition and the competition that's prevalent in entertainment, and some of the kinds of people that you have to deal with, and the negotiations, there's a lot there. There really is. So there's a lot of reasons that make sense, that stress would be prevalent. So that was about how to get to the root cause, of whatever that anxiety was at that moment for the event that was coming up, and to how to clear that out.
The dump sheet,
the dump sheet.
You're referring to.
That is correct. Okay. Now, if you follow this tool, and just go back to next week for those of you who haven't seen it, if you follow this tool and you do it enough times, you will find certain patterns. You will find that every time you do it, especially let's say right before an audition, or let's say that you are already established in entertainment, and you want to get with a bigger, better agent, and are going through an interview for that. There's all kinds of events that occur. So what happens is that you will begin to see that there's some core beliefs and core emotions that seem to always be connected to these anxieties and the lack of confidence.
Yeah, I get it. I'm mapping it on right now as you're talking.
When that begins to happen, then obviously what you want to do is you want to be, this is something that you're carrying around with you wherever you're going. And it's not really usually serving any purpose. It might have at one point, that's a whole nother talk. But it's not anymore.
Got it.
So the goal is, how do you get rid of it? Especially beliefs and worries and emotions that feel really real. And I'm going to tell you right now, anything that you feel is really, really real, it's not. No matter how deeply you believe it, it's just something that's been taught to you over and over and over again so that it's become a deep core belief.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Especially the negative ones, the stuff that does not serve you. There's a lot of ways that we can begin to release that, but I'm going to give you one that is really cool.
Oh, awesome.
Really cool.
Okay, cool.
Okay?
Yeah.
I call it the flower.
The flower. This is
flower.
great. I love her language. I keep expecting, Dr. Joan to be coming up with these huge big words that, that we can never pronounce. And last week was the dumb sheet. This week is the flower. I love it.
Okay. So,
this is so great.
Good. All right. There actually is like all this official terminology.
Yeah, but I like your terminology. I can pronounce it.
No. So, we're not going there. All right. Now, so here's what you need to do. What I want you to do is, and you can, listen to this YouTube again.
Okay.
Okay, so right now just listen and then go back, and when you listen to it again, be ready.
Okay.
You'll have a piece of paper, and I want you to pick two colors. One that's kind of a color you don't like so much,
Okay.
and one's that a color that you really like a lot.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm just going to do it while you're talking, if that's okay.
Yeah, you can visualize this in your head.
Okay.
And then you're going to need just a pen, something to write with. And what you're going to do is you're going to draw a flower. You're going to draw like a daisy type.
Okay.
So it's going to have a center, and the center is the one that you're going to use the color you don't like. So just when you draw that, it's
Okay.
going to be, outlined by a color you don't like. And then when you draw the petals, and probably about, I'd say anywhere from 4 to 6 petals
Okay.
are sufficient.
Okay.
Okay, use the color that you do like when you draw the petals.
All right.
Now don't color anything in, at least not yet. Afterwards you can add to it what you want.
Got it.
But then once you've got that laid out, then you're going to take your pen or a marker or whatever. In the middle, I'd like you to put the core thought, belief, or worry, or concern, or emotion that you notice keeps coming up whenever you do the dump sheet.
I write it in, you mean?
You write it
I
in.
write it in, okay.
So, for example, if you have a belief, let's say you find over and over, let's say your mother told you, and by the way, the cause of these things is not important.
Yeah.
But let's just pretend for a minute that you always loved to act, you're always acting around, and all this and everything. But your mom was always saying, oh, don't, be so big,
Right.
it's like, you're not such a big person,
Stop
it's
showing
like,
off.
stop showing off,
Got it.
it's like,
Yeah.
kind of keep your ego in check,
Yeah.
all that, kind
Sure,
of stuff.
yeah.
So one of those messages might be really strong, that you carry with you. And you've discovered that really has a lot of feeling. And by the way, you might really believe that it's true.
Sure.
Like I really should, keep my ego in check.
Yeah.
I really should. So whatever it is, you just write it out. Write it out in the center. Okay? So, and all you have to do is put in a few words. And it might just be an emotion. I mean, the emotion might
Okay.
be frustration. You might find out that underneath your anxiety and your stress is just that you're continually frustrated, okay, and impatient.
Right.
It actually causes a lot of damage.
I bet.
Chronic frustration.
Yeah.
So you put whatever it is in the center, okay? Then what you need to do, you put that aside. And this might take a little time. You might need to you can give yourself as much time as you need. But what I want you to do on a separate piece of paper is I want you to think about as many petals as you put down around the flower. I want you to come up with those many truly positive, real events
Okay.
that actually occurred to you. Now,
They
you can-
counteract what it was you wrote, you mean?
well, right now they should be just positive events
Okay.
or memories, hopefully
Okay.
related to your area of entertainment, to
Got
the work
it.
you do.
Oh, got it.
So
Okay.
if you're a writer, maybe there was an award that you won,
Okay.
for a screenplay that you wrote.
Sure, got it first
came in.
place with my screenplay. So write that down, for example.
Exactly.
Okay, I got it.
But not only that, but I want you to recall as you write it down how you felt. Imagine that you could see yourself. What did you look like? If there were people in the audience, how did they seem to respond?
And
All
I would
positive.
write that down, Joan?
And you would write that down.
Okay.
And a paragraph is probably
Okay.
sufficient.
Got it.
And then you'll go on to the next memory. Now you try to get events, and by the way, this might take one hour. This might take a week.
Okay, I got
So
it.
you let it kind of dwell
right.
with you.
All right.
Positive real events. And they can be very tiny, too. It could be
Okay.
the time, by the way, for writers, this is big. For screenwriters,
Sure.
it could be the time you found the perfect Waterman pen, and this is it. And every time you use this pen, this is your lucky pen, and that's okay. You can use that. It could be another time, when you became friendly with another writer who critiqued some of your work and gave you some really positive feedback. They might have given you constructive feedback, but they gave you really good positive feedback too. So you really need to let these emerge.
Okay.
And then you just write a paragraph about, what it felt like and what was actually said and what you experienced, and if you could see yourself, what would be the expression on your face?
Got it.
Okay, once you've got enough memories that are connected to the number of petals that you put.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
And by the way, if you're fairly new to the business, or some of you I know are real negative Nellies, it's like you're going to say, "Oh, I can't think of such positive many memories. I've always been a failure. I never did." I know you get that. Right. Okay, always, never. Right. Okay. So when that happens, then I'm sorry, but you wouldn't have made it this far in your life if you didn't have 4 to 6 positive events. Period. That occurred to you in your life somewhere. I don't care how big or how small they are. You write those babies down.
So, Joan, even though, let's go back to the writer, even though maybe as a writer I might not have won those awards, but maybe I got the top award when I was in grade 11 in my English class for my writing. So if I can't find the positive because I'm fairly new or I'm kind of negative about it, go back in time and find something about my great writing.
Absolutely.
Is that what you mean? I could do that.
And actually, it's so funny because you just came up with that, but somebody that I have been coaching, who's a screenwriter, that actually was something that happened to him.
You're kidding.
No, and it was not only that, which is even the best, it's like he just recalled this experience when he was in 11th grade. He didn't realize how gifted he was in writing until much later in life.
Whoa.
And then, as we've been working on it, he then recalled this memory where he wrote the story in 11th grade assignment, and as he wrote, he really got into it, and he ended up getting a lot of feedback, and it was great. And the thing was, he loved it, and his own love for what he had created.
Yeah.
That really came back to him as a very powerful memory.
Cool.
So you never know.
That's funny.
Don't censor.
Okay.
Don't censor.
Oh, that's the next thing I was going to say. Is already I'm censoring as I'm pretending okay.
Nope.
So don't censor.
Anytime.
A little like the dump sheet last week where you made us right. In this case, you're also saying right. Whatever's there, right. Whatever's there, right.
Well, first you have to come up whatever the memories are that are positive.
Don't censor those.
Them. Don't censor them.
Okay, I got it.
There's a reason for the positive memory.
Yeah.
So don't censor it. If your voice in your head starts saying, "Oh, that's not really powerful enough," or "That wasn't really relevant," or "Well, but nobody really," but just say, "Thank you for sharing," okay, and just put it down.
Got it.
Now, when you're done and you've got your positive events, okay, then I want you, if you don't fully feel the positive element in them, as you read them, then I just want you to, every night before you go to bed, just go through them.
Okay.
Okay? Now remember, the flower, with the thing with the negativity in the center is still there. Just keep it to the side. But I want you to go through them every night before you go to bed and just repeat to yourself, these events really happened to me.
Out loud?
And out loud.
Okay, got it.
And they are true positive events.
Brilliant.
And take a deep breath and let them out. You really need to get rid of all that crap that you tell yourself, and you have to truly fill it with positive experiences, positive feelings.
Got it.
As you begin to become authentically, able to experience the positive of each event, as you do it and you get it.
Yeah.
And by the way, practice makes perfect. So you keep doing it. As each one begins to solidify, you transfer it over to one of the petals. So you just go over to one of the petals and just write a couple of words so you know what that event was.
That's so cool.
And then, as the next one solidifies, you do another petal. And then, you got it? Until eventually you have your flower. Now, in the center is this core negative piece.
Yes. What happens with that?
Then this is the last part.
Okay.
So the second part was developing your positive components, getting them in there. And for some of you, this will happen very easily, and for others of you, this might take some time.
Sure, I get that, totally.
But it's really important that you have that. And by the way, if you can't truly get to positive 4 to 6, you want to get coaching. You want to either work with a therapist or an excellent coach in the entertainment industry that will work with you to get to this.
Mm-hmm.
So, once you have it, you bring it over, you've got your flower. Now, the third step and the last step
Yes.
is the most powerful of all.
Oh, I can't wait. I got tingles.
You're going to have this flower, okay? You'll probably hang it up on the wall or a mirror or something, on
Okay.
the paper. But then what I want you to do is that once a day for 30 days,
Once a day for 30 days. Okay.
I want you to just stop whatever you're doing,
Okay.
and just for a minute, I want you to focus on that flower, and I want you to, and you're in entertainment, so you can do this. Even the most left brain of you that are analytical can do this. But I want you to see the positive events moving forward and the negative event or experience or feeling moving back.
Got it. Okay.
So, so bring it forward so you're focusing on the positive.
Okay.
The negative might be there, but it's not the primary focus.
So it's getting more and more diminished with each time over those 30 days.
It could.
Okay.
It could.
Okay.
We don't, that's not necessarily what it's about.
Okay, got it. All
But
right,
we
good.
are at least wanting you, there's a key point
Okay.
that every human being has to learn. And that is, we all have negative events, experiences,
Sure.
emotions, fears, whatever. But we also have a lot of positive. And if you can what we want to do is put the negative into perspective.
Okay.
So we want the positive
I see.
to be what's brought forward.
Right.
Do you see?
Yep.
It's not that we're necessarily getting rid of it. If
I
it
got
if it
it.
diminishes, if it grows smaller, if it goes away, great.
Fine.
But even if it just stays, that's okay.
Yeah.
You see, because
I hear you.
your life has had many positive events in it. And if you've really struggled with this, then your homework is, from this point forward, after the 30 days, is to keep deliberately creating positive events.
Okay.
Positive memories and positive events.
Deliberate
Deliberately.
creation. Got
Deliberate
it.
creation.
Love deliberate
And
creation.
by the way,
Love it.
you do that by surrounding yourself with people
Yeah.
that you love,
Yeah.
that you trust, that
Yeah.
support you.
Yeah.
You support them.
Exactly.
You can be yourself with. Okay, you diminish people that are not healthy for you,
Right.
or you limit your contact to just what's absolutely necessary.
Got it.
The other thing is you start telling yourself things to help you understand that it's not that you're dumb and it's not that you're incapable, but sometimes it's a matter of education. So maybe you're getting tripped up on an audition, certain auditions,
Sure, yeah.
and can't seem to get, the role. Okay. It could be certainly, this is where you have to go back and analyze and look
Right.
at what do I need to learn or
Right.
educate myself on, right?
Right. To build
in order
that up.
to build that particular piece.
I get it. Oh, yeah.
Now, we do this kind of work with
Yeah.
sports, like with the Olympics just having finished.
Right.
I used to work with the Olympic athletes.
Uh-huh.
And there's a lot of stuff that we do with this in terms of building performance and
Oh, this is
reducing
brilliant.
anxiety.
Yeah.
So these are all things that are connected in a similar
Got
way.
it. Oh my gosh. Okay.
So-
this is
So the
unbelievable.
flower.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You guys, this has just been extraordinary. These exercises from last week and this week, Joan, are transformational.
Yes, they are.
They really are transformational. These can change our lives.
Yes.
Yes, of course, in our careers, and yes, of course, in the entertainment industry. But I can see using this clearly in our personal lives as well.
Right.
Absolutely. It doesn't have to be just in your career. So, guys, take advantage of these two pieces of gold that we would ordinarily be paying thousands of dollars for and use it,
Let me
Yeah.
say one last thing, too. I know we have to stop, but let me just say this. You will not find these tools in any book.
No, it's
out
not.
there.
I've never seen anything like that.
And the
I've read them
reason
all.
why
Yeah.
is because these are tools that I've developed
Oh, okay.
over through the years of working with people.
I see.
And we develop them. My job is to see,
Got it.
if there's something, a barrier that's keeping them from accomplishing and being the most they can be.
Brilliant.
We have to get clear what that is, and then we have to come up with ways to get around it.
Totally.
And the people I work with, they'll tell you, man, we really work hard to come, to really create new ways. And every so often, I develop a tool. We come up with something, and we
Unbelievable.
realize, wow, everybody can use this tool.
This is amazing. So you guys are getting the
So-
leading edge here. This is not just tools and techniques. This is not just the average. This is the
right.
leading edge. These are newly created by the masters here. Oh my God. Anyways, I am
And
in
by
awe.
your colleagues, I couldn't do it without your peers and your colleagues, and
Wow. This is so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Jen. Now, for some of us who want to get to you, for the people that are watching,
Right.
is there a way? I know your schedule is probably very booked and so on, but is there a way that somebody could book a session or whatever with you, and how would they do that? I know you told us last week, and if you could just repeat that, that would be wonderful.
Okay. The first is you can find me easily by Googling me. I'm all over the internet.
Okay.
So it's going to be Dr. Joan, Joan, pastor, like a pastor in the church, Pastor. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist and a licensed industrial organizational psychologist.
Good
So it's just
God.
a fancy name for business and, how to make it in the business
Wow.
world. We do have an entertainment site, the Entertainment Center of Beverly Hills.
Okay.
So probably
Googling that would be
Yeah, that would be
smart.
fine.
Yeah, entertainment.
Healthy Brain and Body Center of Beverly Hills.
Okay, good.
If you want to contact me directly, my email,
Okay.
the best email where everything goes into,
Sure.
is Joan, Joan, at JPA-international, all spelled out, .com.
Okay.
Because that's the name of our major company, is JPA International
okay.
Incorporated.
Brilliant.
So JPA-international.com.
Awesome.
Okay, Joan. And the phone
great.
number, 310-892-0210.
Excellent. This is so great. My God. Like I said last week, you have been giving us gold nuggets throughout your talk. And I just have been hanging on every word. It's just been phenomenal. Tools that are on the leading edge that we get to use now in our lives and in our professional careers. So I just want to thank you so much. We are privileged to have Dr. Joan Pastor with us, and I know that these guys are getting it. They realize that now. You've got to
And
realize.
these are tools. I mean, every person I work with or every group that I work with, we everything is completely customized because every person's personal, their
that's
issues,
great.
their barriers for creative development.
Sure.
I mean, for whatever it is, it's always very personal.
It's unique and personal. So we're
it's
not
very-
getting some template somewhere.
No.
This is wonderful.
No.
So I just thank you so much for coming in and being with us again today and for last week as well.
My
and
pleasure.
and this is it for tip number 9, everybody. I will see you next Friday night for tip number 10, our last tip on dealing with stress in the entertainment industry, of course, or any industry. And that's it. So have a great weekend, everyone. And this is Suzanne Lyons here, signing off.